Imagination is more important than knowledge. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The only source of knowledge is experience. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. Albert Einstein. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you that mine are still greater. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? The only way to do great work is to love what you do. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Information is not knowledge. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. You never fail until you stop trying. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. The only real valuable thing is intuition. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination, and marks real advance in science. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism. How passionately I hate them. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. I never worry about the future. It comes soon enough. I believe in one thing, that only a life lived for others is a life worth living. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. The true value of a human being is determined by the measure and the sense in which they have obtained liberation from the self. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science, measured against reality, is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. I am by heritage a Jew, by citizenship a Swiss, and by makeup a human being, and only a human being, without any special attachment to any state or national entity whatsoever. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of